People are asking me if the Cleveland Funny Buzz, by the way, is not going to cut into this show at all. Those leave at 7 o'clock. So I'm not running some of shows. I'd never preempt the show to go run off and do something. So every Wednesday in May, Alan Cox Show night over there in the Cleveland Funny Bus. But no, those leave at 7 o'clock. It's a 90-minute tour. And I'll be your host tomorrow night. I think Bill might be your host next week.
That's right.
And you can buy tickets for whatever week you want to join us, whatever Wednesday night. Go to funnybus.net, and it'll be a lot of fun. You get a couple of pops from Collision Bend on us, and pull out around 7 o'clock. So it won't interfere with the show at all.
I just sent a question to the group chat.
Okay. I think. That would be something that I think, yes, would have been taken care of.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Right. But it'll be a good time tomorrow night. Julia Mary seems very sweet.
Oh, she's very sweet, and she's very funny, and
I'm looking forward to seeing her in her element.
Yes, when she's in her, she was a little uncomfortable in here.
I'm sure
she was nervous first time on a show like this, so she was nervous, but I think she was doing a good job. And on the Funny Bus, that's her element. She's gonna rock that, and she's very fun to watch live because she's very she's got a chaotic energy that just grabs everybody's attention.
Right. We'll have hot celebrity goss in a few minutes, courtesy of Perez Bilton.
Let me get that ready.
If you've been waiting for that. Alan, how did you like the Ministry show? I loved the Ministry show. I was thinking of Poundcake during that show, too. He's probably still getting a winner. But seeing Al Jorgensen, and it really, really took me back, by the way. Because Ministry is a band that got going when I was in high school. I remember when Ministry was a local Chicago band. And initially, they sounded very much like Depeche Mode. They were part of that 80s synthy. Al Jorgensen used to sing in a fake British accent. And Every Day is Halloween. People remember that early Ministry song. Some people still love that. And they really, you talk about changing your sound. They really, really changed it. They were really the grandfathers of the whole industrial thing. And it was weird when you would see, because Gary Newman opened for Ministry, and he predates them. Guy's 65 years old. And you could see a lot of his mannerisms on stage. You could see where artists who had come after him were kind of mimicking those. You watch Gary Newman on stage, and you see where a young Trent Reznor kind of got his stage presence. But watching Ministry really, really took me back. There was kind of a teen club in Chicago in the late 80s, early 90s called Medusas, and it was for everybody who wanted to be part of that emerging industrial gothic kind of vibe. And so Ministry would play there back in the day, and so it was a lot of fun to see. But they whipped out a new song, and I was thinking of Poundcake because that Ministry, Gary Newman crowd, that is it's an old punk crowd, old metalhead, old punk crowd. There were younger people there, as you're going to have at any rock show. Mostly white. But there was, in the box across from us, not next to us, but across the Agora, in like the opposite box from us, there was a guy and his girlfriend. And the girlfriend was black. And she was going bananas because Al Jorgensen says, we're going to play a new song that's coming out on the new album. Ministry's dropping an album beginning of August called Hopium for the Masses. And the song is called Goddamn White Trash. And she was going crazy over this. She didn't look out of place. She was very clearly a Ministry fan. And she loved it, that he's pointing, because Al Jorgensen, I think, is Cuban or something. He's pointing at the crowd, and he's, Ministry's always a band that has never, ever been afraid to wear their politics on their sleeve, and she was just loving it. I was so happy for her to, because otherwise, you might feel out of place at a show like that. And there were, by the way, if you were in that group of people on the main floor that were yelling at me, I apologize that I didn't understand what was happening right away. Gwen had to kind of nudge me because I was just kind of like taking it all in. This was in between bands. But there were people on the floor that were, I guess, had seen me and were yelling up at me to get my attention, and I didn't know that that's what was happening. So I wasn't trying to be a dick. When I'm trying to be a dick, you'll know. Because I'll tell you. I mean, it's pretty evident. Somebody will come up to me, I'll go, hey, man, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm going to be a dick right now. And then they walk away because I feel I've over-explained it. But great show. Love that show on Friday night. And they always come, I think they're coming through again end of the summer, but they're in the opening slot for somebody. So, sometimes they'll be headlining, sometimes they'll be opening. But I could only imagine Poundcake being up there pumping his fist during goddamn White Trash. He probably would have enjoyed that just as much.
Yeah, sure.
What's not to like? Of course.
I just figure a concert like that would be a stinky.
Oh, it is stinky, but it's that's what took me back. It's that great kind of sweaty. Granted, now it's mixed with like beer smell, alcohol smell, right? But it's not gross. It's just what's in the air. You get that many people in any venue. It looked like they sold the thing out.
Panic at the Disco doesn't have like a smelly venue.
It's because nobody's old enough to drink. They're all 10.
What age do you start having BO?
Well, when do you hit puberty?
Everyone hits puberty at different times.
Well, that's when you start having BO.
I think I started.
You don't have BO until puberty.
I think I started around 11, maybe.
11. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember when I hit puberty. I remember when I was 11 when I started whacking it. That probably coincides with all of your hormonal changes. But,
yeah, I think I was 11. I remember I was 11 when I started whacking it because I didn't make it right away, and it came out clear, and I was scared. I was like, what is this?
Clear.
I was like, what is this? Because everyone told me that it was white.
Yeah.
Everyone told me it was white. It was like, okay, white stuff was going to come out. So I didn't have anything white, and it wasn't pee. So it was like, what is this? I'm a cyborg.
A cyborg? You thought you were a cyborg? That's where his head goes. I'm a cyborg.
Not a cyborg, but I didn't think I was normal. I was like, why is everyone else white?
Thought you were a freak.
Yes. No one told me.
Especially since you're half white.
Yeah, no one told me it came out clear at first.
Huh.
Because it was, I don't know, I pretty much popped my own cherry or something. Like it was, I didn't understand.
Oh, this guy. Okay. He was a real up-and-comer back then and didn't even know it. No, that's why on my birthday last year, I celebrated 40 years of masturbating because I turned 51 last summer. And it was very exciting. Called some family. I sent out a group text. I sent out an email blast. It was a whole thing. I got flowers and cards and lube, and it was a real milestone last June.
Masturbating is very dangerous.
Depends on how you do it.
Well, I'm just saying,
dangerous how?
Because it feels
when you think you're a cyborg?
No, because it feels so good that it got me through. Because my last boyfriend, I didn't date anyone for what?
Oh, you're talking about as an adult. We've time jumped from your formative years.
Yeah, I'm saying now as an adult. My last boyfriend was what, 2021, around there.
I'll take your word for it.
2021. So I went over a year without having a boyfriend. And I was perfectly content. I didn't want anything. I didn't necessarily need to hook up. Porn and masturbating is a very dangerous game because you can be content with being by yourself.
Well, that's why you have an entire generation of emotionally stunted men.
Correct.
In every country on the planet.
Yep.
Nobody knows how to walk up and talk to a chick anymore.
Well, it's not that I didn't lose my confidence in talking to people. If anything, it's helped me with my self-esteem because I'm like, I don't need you. I do it better myself, bitch. Walk away. Probably ain't no good no way.
How is that good for your self-esteem?
Because
if that were the case, we wouldn't have emotionally stunted dudes.
I'm not anticipating they're like, I don't need their sex anymore. I'm like, I'll just look you up on OnlyFans anyways. All right, I'll pay my $5.99.
Yeah, but nothing. I mean, that might get you through. You're right. You're in a dry spell, get you through. But at some point, man, it's nothing compares to being with another person. It just doesn't. It doesn't. So, and it's people that convince themselves that that's okay. They're like, I don't need to do that. Yeah, you do, man. You do. Because after a while, you're just going to be weird. It's going to make you weird. And that's no good. That's how you end up with douchebags in tactical gear shooting up a strip mall. Yeah. Are we ready for some hot
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey!
Yeah, what a lead-in.
I like to warm up my audience.
This is Hot Celebrity Gossip with Perez Bilton. Ooh.
Oh, how are my little goss guzzlers today? I got gobs and gobs of goss for you. Let's start things off. TMZ has reported that as Britney Spears' conservatorship wound down, those caring for her prepared a list of recommendations, including keeping knives away from her. Britney was deathly afraid of being reinstitutionalized and would sleep with a knife to defend herself in case they tried to strap her to a gurney. According to inside sources, Britney said that the knife was her second choice when it came to weapons. Her first choice, an umbrella.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I remember that. Shaved her head.
Shaved her head
Yeah.
and the umbrella, yeah. All right. Robert De Niro, we talked about this earlier, but I got some more information on this. He recently revealed he has a seventh child. He joked that he's 79, but he's still got strong swimmers.
Mm-hmm.
And according to inside sources, Robert De Niro meant to make an announcement sooner, but he forgot about it.
Yeah.
Sources.
Those sources are, boy, you're so
Very
fortunate
inside,
to have
yeah.
them, yes.
And then finally, Usher and Chris Brown got into it on Chris Brown's 34th birthday. Apparently, an argument led to a scuffle outside the skating rink where Brown's birthday was being held. And according to inside sources, Usher said they are cool and the violence was blown way out of proportion by the media, adding, "With me, you always gotta worry about an outbreak, just not the violent kind."
This is Hot Celebrity Gossip with Perez Bilton. Ooh.
Argument
'Cause
that
of the
leads
herpes.
to a scuffle,
Allegedly.
to all kinds of things. Allegedly, that's right.
Allegedly the herpes, but
Boy,
I
that
thought he talked about it. I thought he said,
He
yeah.
ain't never talk about no herpes.
that Britney Spears thing, boy, you see these stories and you're like,
She's a fighter.
maybe those conservatorship people were onto something, because...
Well, there's a whole thing happening next, I think it's Monday. TMZ is doing this whole expose on like the year and a half since she's been out of the conservatorship
Yeah.
and
Expose on who? Her?
on Britney, on her life after the conservatorship. It's like primetime Fox special.
Well,
I'm sure they have enough B-roll. It's not like
Yeah.
she's been hiding in her house like...
if they cared so much, they wouldn't. They'd be trying to help her and not exploit her.
No, that's not their job. Their job is TMZ
exploit
to
her.
exploit her. That's
Their job is to give you the information within the 30-mile zone. That is their only responsibility. TMZ is like the Perez Bilton of California.
If Britney Spears needs an explanation as to why she was sleeping with a knife, all she needs to tell them is, sometimes I run, sometimes I hide,
Is this a song?
sometimes I'm scared of
Falling
you.
on deaf ears, homie. Listen, those are song lyrics from Whitney Houston?
Yes.
Whitney Houston, Jesus. Britney Spears. I can't keep one cuckoo from apart from the next. Okay, listen. I do feel bad for her, though. 'cause
No,
I'm-
You don't?
It's a
Well,
mess.
no, I really do, because it can't be easy to be her, but by the same token, she has not been hiding in her house so that nobody misconstrues what she says. She clearly has.
Where is her husband?
I think he's hanging back, man. I think he's looking for, like, he's going to pull the chute, or because her
Absolutely
kids
not.
aren't little anymore. Kids are like almost college age. So that's not really in the picture. You know, we all saw those videos a couple of years ago of her, like, nobody ever identified with her harder than when her kids were being dicks to her from the back seat. Because every parent of teenagers can identify with that. At some point, you're like, oh my God, celebrities, they are like us.
Oh, she said, you need some lotion. And he was like, shut up. You don't know what you're
Because
talking about.
I always thought one of the dumbest questions you could ask a celebrity, if you're in a position to interview celebrities, one of the dumbest questions, and it still get asked all the time, is, do your kids love your movies? Your kids must be so excited that you're in. And like, if you have little kids, maybe, but to a person, most celebrities will go, my kids don't care what I'm doing because you're just their parent. You're just their dad or just their mom. And if you grew up in, look at Chet Hanks. I mean, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson are your parents, and you're still trying to do everything you can to divert attention away from that. Pretending like you're Jamaican or something. He's like talking in patois the whole time. And, you know, every one of these celebrities goes, my kids don't care what I'm doing. They couldn't care less. They're off doing their own thing. I mean, when they hit like teenage years or whatever, you know? And that's when they get really identifiable. It's just most of them don't have videos posted of their kids yelling at them in the back seat. But if they did, everybody be like, yup. Feel your pain there, John Krasinski. I don't know who's got teenage celebrities with teenage kids. They'll never be more relatable than that. When your kid's telling you to, you know, go eat a poop or whatever.
Go eat a poop.
Go eat a poop.
I don't know.
But Britney Spears, man, there are sometimes her Instagram is full of pictures of her looking like she needs help. But some days she comes out and I'm like, oh, I see the old Britney Spears, like the crazy, not crazy like her. I'm talking about her single, her song "Crazy," where she's super hot in a bikini and she's dancing. Like, she still got it. She's still kind of hot. There's just some days she looks like really defeated, and I hate when she's exploited like that because I feel like they're taking advantage of her bad days. They get a lot of bad shots, and they'll have like one shot per month where she looks okay.
Well, also the dances she does are not good.
But again, she's not running her own Instagram. I don't feel like she has a team still. So
but she has to sign off on everything that gets posted.
She's still sending them what's getting posted.
She's sending them the stuff. So everything we see are things that she's given her imprimatur to. She's like, yup, post that. This will be awesome.
That was like that before when she was in the conservatorship. Before, she wasn't signing off on that. Before, I don't know who was running her conservatorship, her management or her dad.
But they were still sending her videos.
So she's like, post this. This is good. Oh, but I still can't get over the fact that
she still loves wearing those like low-rise shorts and stuff.
Because she still looks great.
No, but I mean, like,
she
like everybody
great.
else is like kind of got like the more like high-waisted or stuff like that. But she's just sticking with that that late 90s low-rise style.
Because I think she picked up right where she left off when they put her in the conservatorship. Like, she lost those years, and she's like, I'm going to be the most Britney I've ever Britneyed. She's 41, you know? Big problems post-conservatorship, the papers are saying.
What do you think the rest of her life looks like her trajectory? I don't think she wants to have another kid, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Okay.
But she has a super hot husband. And
I mean, that's great, but
I don't think she could just slip into like obscurity. Like, she's not going to leave the
No,
country.
she's not going to go obscure. I think it's just, I don't know. I really don't know.
I think it would be great to see her have like a full
Renaissance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, where people aren't going, well, let's see how long it takes for her to explode again.
Yeah, I'd like to see her get healthy and get, you know,
but I just don't
her life back.
But they've already done so much already to her. Like, how many docuseries are they going to make about her without actually helping her? She needs, and I'm not talking about like put her back in a home or to 40, what is it, 4140 her, whatever they call it?
5150.
5150. She doesn't need that type of help. She needs support, and you can't get that support when you keep constantly putting out stories about her. That messes with your mental health more than anything. That makes sane people go crazy. Free Britney. Stop exploiting her.
Alan Poundcake is right. I just spent an hour, just me, myself, and poppers. I assume he means a fan of Blues Traveler.
Yes.
Listen, we around here, all huge fans of Blues Traveler.
Actually do love Blues Traveler.
At least we like the Blues Traveler farts. Mm-hmm. Ooh. That is pretty slick. Okay, so there you go. Some people on your side with the poppers.
I don't have any poppers.
No amyl nitrite at Casa Poundcake?
No, I don't. I never got into that stuff. White people always just make me do poppers. I
White
never had
people.
They made you?
They made him. White people made him do poppers.
I never even knew it was a thing until I hung out with a bunch of white circuit gays, and they're walking around in their little jock straps. They're like, poppers? I'm like, what is that? Don't be giving me party drugs. They're like, it's not a party drug. It's cassette cleaner.
I was going to say, that's because they couldn't get the actual stuff. Cassette cleaner.
And I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
I've got to take a break here. You want those Monster Jam tickets? You can get those from me. 4 tickets for the return of Monster Jam. They're going to be at Brown Stadium. A lot of your favorites, some newcomers. It is June 3rd, just a couple of weeks away, so we'll do that coming back. Want to text for anything else? 35192, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our